Hey, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be making a video that's kind of opinion and news, and this is about the Pentax film camera project and their third video, which they just recently released, giving a lot of information about the camera is looking to be. In this case, the camera is not going to be a full frame 35mm camera, but a half frame. What does that mean is instead of taking a full normal panoramic or landscape photo, it'll be taking a vertical orientation, like if you hold your camera sideways photo, but it'll be using half the amount of film usually exposed and shoot basically 24:17 negatives. This gives you double the amount of pictures per roll, and it's a first for Pentax, not for Ricoh, but it is an interesting choice. Then they are going to be adding some electronically controlled functions like aperture and shutter speed control so that you get accurate exposures, but they will be doing some mechanical things, like for example the advance will be a little ratchet, either a whole advance lever or maybe a wheel like the XA from Olympus. But then they're going to give you focusing with basically predefined focusing steps. So basically like the classic like 1 meter, 3 meters and infinity. So you'll have like the one person, three people and the mountains as Lomography has done and some other brands. And this is kind of a cool approach towards what they're aiming this camera to fill in. Because if you were making a film camera, like if digital had never interrupted and you had continued making cameras, this would never be a camera anybody would be making. But because of digital interruption and the new generation that's getting into film and what they're choosing to use and shoot, this camera is doing a bit of everything. It's giving you the analog vibe of advancing your film and rewinding your film and loading your film, but it's giving you the modern technology of basically perfect exposures every time. It's giving you the manual way of focusing, so you kind of have to think, but they are implementing probably some digital smartness where you will see through the viewfinder if the image is focused at 1 meter, 3 meters or infinity, which is very useful because if you've ever used a zone focus camera, it's very easy to sometimes put in the wrong setting and then shoot everything at infinity and you're shooting portraits. But this camera is coming at a place where it's tailored towards the new film photography user. And me being 41, having shot film before digital existed, then stopping and coming back probably like 15 years ago, I have a very different view on film photography and what it should be than the people that are picking up cameras nowadays. But if you notice on YouTube, the Kodak, I think it's called H35N or something like that. It's a Kodak Plastic Fantastic, one shutter speed, one aperture camera that shoots half frame pictures. There's videos on YouTube with almost or past 1 million views, meaning that this camera is extremely popular with beginners. People that are picking up a camera at their photography, store, or maybe even on Amazon or online and throwing a roll inside and shooting. What happens with camera is, yes, it gives you 72 exposures, which is double the amount of pictures, which most labs will charge the same for 24 exposure rolls, 36 exposure rolls, or 72 exposure rolls. But also the idea that you have only one setting in the Kodak, so you're shooting 1/125th, if I'm not mistaken, and like f9, meaning that the moment there's clouds or that it gets dark, you need to use the flash. If it's too sunny, it can't expose, and there's like films that are recommended depending on the conditions. This removes all of those problems and brings this camera that gives you the vintage vibe of shooting film with 72 exposures, which is double the shots that you usually get, but it gives you the modern advantages of shutter control, aperture control, and some probably extra benefits. I don't know if it'll have DX code reading or not. But this is amazing because it is going to fill that gap. So users like me probably will pass on a camera like that. I will get one because I want to support the project, but a lot of users will basically jump on it because it'll be a great option for a new film camera. And that's another thing we forget many times is the amount of people that want to see a film camera, that don't care about the market, that don't care about the secondhand market. They just want a film camera. They want to buy it in a store. We have seen here in Europe some major retailers start to collaborate with secondhand stores to put old cameras in the stores for like electronic consumer. So you will go to like your local Best Buy and they won't have only the normal digital cameras, but they'll have reconditioned film cameras, which is saying that people want a film camera, but they don't want to shop on eBay. They don't want to shop on a secondhand store. They don't want to go looking for something. There's scams, there's problems. Cameras are not tested properly. So these people will be purchasing a camera like this for sure. But then there'll be people like me that supports Pentax and want to see this maybe come to something different. So this is the first step. And as every product, when you relaunch, you have to kind of prove concept that you can make a film camera and then maybe go down the road. And recently on social media, I saw somebody actually asking, like, do you think Pentax will ever make a medium format camera again? Will Pentax make us a SLR? And they've said it in this project that if things go forward, they will continue making cameras. They'll probably make a cane mount manual SLR, maybe with no AF, and they will be doing things like that. So I think that this project is very important. And I've heard rumors, and this is not official, nobody's told me anything. I have met the president of Ricoh Europe, but he didn't say anything. Obviously, it was very, secretive and very hush-hush about what they said. But I've heard other people mention that still inside Pentax and Ricoh, there is no official approval of this project. And this is where I want to get to in this video is, if there's something you can do about this project, is talk about it, share it on social media. You can follow their Instagram account, which they created one now for the film camera project, and share that too. Because if Pentax or Ricoh, the bosses, the people that haven't seen the film Resurgence, that are not checking Instagram and YouTube about the latest video from Willem Verbeek or Grainy Days, those people need convincing, and that will come from us supporting through social media. So like I said, following, sharing the Instagram accounts, and sharing with people, like making sure people understand that this is a thing that is not granted. And it might be granted, I might be mistaken, and this is happening for sure. But if it is not granted and it's up to us to make noise, this is a perfect occasion to do so. And it's funny because I watched the video and I watched the comments, and I love seeing that a lot of people said, hey, I'm an older guy, this is not for me, but I love where they're going. And I like that spirit from the film photography community. I don't want us to be haters on what they're doing and haters about the choices they've made. The choices are very deliberate towards the new user base, not the older user base. And that's important to understand, because I will every day pick up a Pentax K1000 or KX or MX, or maybe a Pentax point and shoot before I pick this up, because I know they exist and I know how to test them and make sure they work. But a lot of users won't know that, and this will give them the reassurance of like a warranty and spare parts and repairs and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's my opinion about this Pentax project. I'm very, very excited to see where it goes. I will leave the link to their Instagram account so you can follow. Make sure to, share it and with anybody. And if you've been wondering where I've been, I'm going to make an update video and I'll link it below. It'll be probably not published officially. Maybe I'll publish it down the road about what I've been doing in this past few months. But I'm still here shooting film, shooting some videos every now and then, and we'll continue to do so. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.